What is going on, everyone? Alex Gervasi here from Gervaseoutdoors. It has been quite a while, and I apologize for that. And I'm actually here to kind of give you guys an update of what's happened in the last, I think it's been like 10 months since I did a video, which is just insane. I've had videos I was working on and then was like, didn't come out the way I wanted it to come out, so I kind of threw it to the side. Yeah, it just didn't really work out as far as daytime fishing goes. Now, that being said, come wintertime, right, it's been 10 months since I filmed. Come wintertime, we don't really fish too much. Like, my dad and I were not a big fan of going deep, 60 feet, 50 feet, whatever feet deep it is, and drop shotting these lakes, like Don Pedro, Maloney's. To us, it's just not very fun. So we kind of usually skip out during wintertime. Dad's hunting, doing his thing. I think the last thing we posted was his elk trip. Right now, he's out hunting Eagle Meadows for his buck, which he didn't take the GoPro. So I didn't even think about that. I'll have to, if he doesn't get one and goes back up, I'll have to get him to get the GoPro and do a hunting video. Because last year he got a pretty good buck. But anyways, I digress. Springtime comes around and we have the big Gallo Glass tournament that came up, the Good Friday tournament, and we had pre-fished the crap out of that. That's a big tournament my dad like really wants to do well in because it's against all his guys from work, right? And pre-fishing was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. We were on bedfish. It was springtime, and we were on, I would say, 18 to 22 pounds every single day. We stayed up there for like 5 or 6 days before the tournament. Every single day I had a 7.5. We had bedfish that were ranging from 4 pounds all the way up to 8 pounds. And we were going in there every single day, making sure they were still on their bed. Any of them that were kind of looking like they were spawning, we were taking note of it. And the day of the tournament rolls around, and every single one of our females that was on a bed, right, again, 18 to 22 pounds. On our worst day, I would have said we probably would have had like 17, 18 pounds on our worst day. Best day, probably up to like 25 pounds. Every single one of those beds, gone. Literally from we checked that night, came back in the morning time for the tournament, every single fish gone. All we were stuck with was the males. Now, fortunately, we get to the weigh-in, no one caught anything. Apparently, all the beds that everyone was on, I don't even think everyone was fishing beds, which is really surprising. There was only like 4 or 5 of us that were actually bed fishing, and that happened to be like the top places, right? We're all bed fishermen. It came down to like, I can't remember the weights exactly. We only needed like one more 2-pounder to jump from tied for 7th all the way up to like 3rd place. If it was a 2.5 pounder, I think it would have got up to 2nd place. And then 1st place, we needed one of our big ones. One of our 4 pluses, we would have taken 1st place. Mind you, while we were fishing that tournament, we passed up probably 10 fish on bed that would have put us into like 2nd place. In our mind, the 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, whatever it was before that, we were catching 18 to 22 pounds, and that's what we had in mind. Like, if we want to get into the money, we need to catch big fish. We skipped all the 2-pound bass, and that really hurt us. We were tied for 7th. Like I said, we could have gotten 2nd place if we would actually just fished for some of the beds. It probably would have taken us 10 minutes. I mean, we had these fish down to a T. If it was on a bed and we saw it, we were catching it. No ifs, ands, or buts, we were catching that fish. So that tournament kind of went by. Summertime started coming in, and if you know, my dad and I, we kind of switched over into the night bite, and it has been great. I think during that springtime, I had 11 or 12 trips in a row where I had a 4+ pound bass. Nighttime rolls around, we get into the summer fishing. We only fish nighttime. I haven't fished during the day since springtime. I have been on probably 30 trips since springtime, if not more, and not one of them has been during the day. Mostly Pedro, and I'm on, again, a 4+ pound streak. Like, I think I ended it I think 2 trips ago I ended it where I lost a 5-pounder at the boat, and that cut my streak. And the last 2 trips I've had, I think 4 or 5 4-pounders. But that one trip kind of cut it in half. Anyways, Good Friday tournament comes up. Not the Good Friday, the Ambassadors Night Tournament, which is the annual open night tournament at Don Pedro, which is the biggest night tournament in this area. If you win the Ambassadors Night Tournament, you win essentially the bragging rights for the nighttime out here. We didn't get much time to pre-fish. I had already been on fish anyways. We kind of had an idea what was going on. And it's long due. My upriver is kind of going to crap right now, so I'll tell you literally what we had going on. I'm not going to sit here and hide anything, and we told everyone that stayed for the weigh-ins exactly what we did and what happened. Day before the tournament comes along, and we go up into Moccasin, out of the Moccasin ramp, and my dad's like, hey, let's go upriver, let's take the right, and see if they remove the barriers, because if you guys know, when the wood starts coming down, they block off usually around what's that? There's an island out there. I don't know for the life of me. I don't know why I can't remember what it's called. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. It's stupid I don't know it. But there's an island out there on the left-hand side, and they usually block it off from there. And then as wood goes back and comes in, they kind of move the block. And so that whole area upriver had not been fished in quite some time. And everyone that knows Don Pedro, our lake has been getting hammered from Future Pro, from BBT, from local like small derbies, and I mean just everyone has been hitting this lake, and it's been getting really, really tough to get on some good fish. Granted, the pros are getting on fish like it's nothing, but just for your everyday fishermen, we're still getting on fish. But for your weekenders, it's getting really, really hard to get on some fish. So we go up there, lo and behold, the barrier's gone. And we're like, okay, this is the only part of this entire lake that hasn't been absolutely hammered by tournament after tournament after tournament. Let's go see what's up there. So we actually get all the way up into the back to the point where the river's current is so fast we can't even keep our boat in line, right? So we're like, no, let's back up a little bit. And we get to the break where the cold water meets the warm water. And we're talking like you put your right hand in the water and it's warm. You put your left hand in the water and it's freezing cold. Like that's how different it is, right? We start fishing that, and right before daylight, some 2s. And then right as the sun started coming down, it was, I think we had like 15 3-pounders in a matter of probably like 25 casts. We're like, okay, something's going on here. Let's try to find the next upgrade of fish. The 4 to 7s and 8s, whatever you want to call it. And we start figuring it out. My dad's throwing a jig. I start throwing a brush hog. And we, over that night, we kind of figured there's a certain time, right? There was literally a certain time where you were either going to catch the 3 pounds and under, or you were going to catch the 4 pounds and up, right? And it had to do with probably about 30 minutes into dark. You had about 1 hour, about an hour and a half on a certain wall that literally, like, that was it. That was the pattern for 4s, 5s, 6s, and 7s, right? That night we came home with like 23 pounds. Day of the tournament rolls along, and mind you, we have a 40-minute drive from Fleming all the way over to upriver, right? So we're like middle of the pack leaving. We're dead last. There's like 40 to 50 boats that all cross the river. No idea. They had to have gone up into woods, because once we passed the bridge and went upriver, we didn't see that many boats. Again, I counted like 40, 45 boats went up to the other side of the lake. We get upriver. There's probably like 5 boats up there, and there's 1 boat sitting on our spot that we wanted to start, but we knew like, hey, the timing's not right. They have another 30-45 minutes before they're going to catch anything that's going to beat us out, right? So we just chill. Like, we sit back, we hit a wall that we knew nothing was really going to be on from pre-fishing. Long and behold, nothing was there. About 20-25 minutes later, the guy leaves. We jump right up on in there, and at that point, by the time we get in there, get our rods in the water, it is that 30 minutes that I'm talking about, right? It is time for the big fish to come out. I would say my 3rd cast, same spot that guy was literally just on. But it was a timing thing. Like I said, it was crazy. It was so dependent on the time. Fifth or sixth cast in, I pull in a 6, I think it was a 612. Another like 10 minutes later, my dad pulls in a 5.5, and then we go throughout the whole night. I think maybe like 2 hours later, we pull in another. I pull in another 4, and then my dad and I pull in before 3 o'clock in the morning. Pull in another, I think, a 215 and a 215 or something like that, right? And we're thinking, okay, not bad. We're sitting probably at like a little under 20 pounds, which is not going to win the tournament by any means, but we'll get close. From 3 o'clock in the morning to daylight, we had nothing. We had to drive 40 minutes all the way back across the lake. Our last hour of the good time to fish in the morning time was just thrown away. We knew the other side of the lake, the Fleming side of the lake, was just full of small fish, and of course we did not upgrade at all. We get into the weigh-in, and we're almost last. I think we had probably like 20 boats after us, and at the time, I'm thinking we have like 17.5 pounds, give or take, because we didn't actually weigh our fish when we were fishing. And they call out, it was like 19 like 97 or something like that. Like, I mean, like an ounce or two under 20 pounds. And we actually take the lead by very little. And I'm like, okay, there's 20, 30 boats. Everyone that fishes tournaments know that the big boys, they wait until the very end. And I'm just sitting there like, I have never won a big tournament like this, right? This is 70, 80 boats. And this is the night, like this is the championship for the nighttime. Like, everyone knows if you win this tournament again, like, you are the champions for the nighttime until the next tournament rolls around. And long and behold, we freaking win it. Holy crap, like, I can't believe it. We actually won it. And that was a nice paycheck. We fished against some great guys, amazing fishermen out here. Got to meet a couple guys that I haven't fished with and talked to them and been in touch with them. Continued fishing for probably like 5 or 6 more trips after that. They were still on that same water. I mean, like, they were just clustered in there, and we were hammering them and hammering them. So that was great. After that, after the pedro started mellowing out, it really just like died. It went from really good to like dead. I had one night where I had a 7 or 8 blow up, and then I lost a 4 at the boat because of the net job. I caught a 5, had another like 7 snap me off, and then my partner had like a 5 snap him off. I mean, it was like we had found him, and then the next day it just died, and then ever since it's just died. I went to Pedro maybe like last week, had a 5 and some 2s. Would have gotten second place at a tournament they were having out there, but I didn't know they were out there doing it. But either way, I've been on fish at night. Lately, my dad and I have been going to Tulloch. Tulloch has turned on like crazy. For any of you guys want to go to Tulloch, the evening bite and the morning bite is just great. I mean, I had the last trip I went out there, I caught like 3 4s, lost a 7 or 8. My dad lost like 3 5-pounders that just short hit his bait. Then he fell in the water on one of his fish. He set the hook so hard, it was like a 5 or 6-pounder, set the hook so hard, he fell off the boat. And that was, oh man, that was too funny. Didn't have the GoPro. Again, it's like we're fishing nighttime. We don't have the money to get a very nice camera to film the nighttime. We've been trying some things. We might be able to get like some propane and a lantern out there, just try to film a little bit. But it's going to be kind of tough to get good cameras. But if we can do that, it'll really show you guys the kind of quality you can catch at night. I mean, during the daytime, I'm happy with 15 pounds. At nighttime, if I have 15 pounds, it's a bad night. And that just shows you the quality of fish at night if you kind of learn the nighttime patterns with the moon phases, with the baits that correlate with the moon phases, and the locations that they sit on. To me, it's the most amazing fishing ever. But anyways, that's kind of been what's going on. We've been fishing, we've been on fish, we won a tournament. I mean, we've been doing great. Gervaseoutdoors, we've been having days that I would love to have shown you guys better videos than any of the videos that I have out right now. And it's just we can't film them because it's too dark. But yeah, we've been getting some subscribers coming in, and there's no videos out, and I just want to let you guys know, like, hey, we are still here. We will still be filming videos. Now that the weather is going to start cooling down here in a bit, we'll be back out during the daytime and not at night, and we'll be cranking out some more videos for you guys. Just kind of wanted to give you guys an update what's going on. I appreciate you guys for all the subscribers that subscribe to our channel. You guys are amazing. If you guys would like to see pictures of all of our fish that we've been catching, I have an Instagram. You can just look up Alex Gervasi on Instagram. You'll see my profile up there, and I got all our fish and all our trips out there that we've been catching. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to like let you guys know what was going on. I've been looking at my YouTube and I'm like, damn, it's really been 10 months since I freaking put up a video. Just kind of wanted to let you guys know what was going on. So hopefully get some fishing videos out here soon. I'm thinking if Tulloch the morning bite kind of stays on bite, then that'll give me at least an hour or two of fishing, and then maybe I do a couple trips, put them all together, and that'll give me like a full video for you guys. If you guys ever want to go fishing with me and you guys are out here in the Modesto area, Don Pedro area, whatever, let me know. I love taking people out. Been taking friends out and took a special guest out the other night. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it, and hopefully some more videos will be coming out very, very soon. All right, love you guys. Gervaseoutdoors. Take it easy.